and it ended up being way more beautiful than I thought it was going to be. I'm like crying. Oh, this is why I don't normally go on trips when I'm PMSing. I hate feeling like this. All that to say that I might go home. Hi, I'm Trista. I've been drawn to the natural world for as long as I can remember, and staying true to my Sagittarius nature, I've been traveling overseas or adventuring in one of my camper cars whenever possible for the last 5 years. You could say I'm on a mission to live a simple, happy life in the great outdoors. Oh, and this is Thanos, and Gaia, and Evie, my 3 cats, and this is Jeremy, my partner in everything. I'm sure you'll see them around. Hit subscribe and come along for the journey.
Anything to say?
Goodbye, my love.
Goodbye. I love you. Have a safe trip.
Okay, thank you. But I want to reveal goodbye after you put the phone down. Okay, so I hope it's legal to be filming. It's not legal. That's probably why. In a past video, I talked about things that make it easier for me to leave on a road trip by myself. And today I'm going against all of those things. I am number 1 PMSing, and I never try and travel when I'm PMSing just because I have so much anxiety. So that's the first kind of thing that I'm going against. The second thing is that I have absolutely no plan. I have an idea of like what direction I'm heading in, which is towards the Laurentians, but I have no plan besides that. Like, I don't know where I'm sleeping tonight. I don't know what I'm gonna do. It's a really rainy day, and there's gonna be a really rainy weekend. The third thing is I always say to leave in the morning, never towards the afternoon or night, because by the time you get to your destination, it's dark, and then it doesn't feel as fun. So I'm also going against that. And so right now I have quite a bit of anxiety, and since I'm really YOLOing this whole trip, the first thing I'm actually going to do is go to Cotton, which is one of my favorite sustainable brands, because I'm in the middle of redoing my wardrobe to make it more like minimal and more aligned with like me and my lifestyle. So oddly enough, that's our first stop today. So I also talk about this in like every video that I've ever made, but the city stresses me out so much so that I keep forgetting to film the things that I'm supposed to film because I'm just so stressed. Anyways, so I stopped at my favorite restaurant on the way because I'm really hungry. It's about 2:30 right now, and I just got some cornbread to hold me off until I get to the more like countryside, where I can actually like take out my stuff and cook. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna eat my cornbread, pretend I am somewhere that's not in the middle of the city. Current setup.
Heartbeat in the quiet, spotlight in an empty room, a song in the silence, my dreams come into view, a light in the dark, the brightest star.
So I just drove to Oka National Park thinking maybe there'd be like a campground that I could park at or like pay to park at. And then I drove here and there's not a single soul here. Oh, that's a lie because a car just passed. But yeah, there's like not a single soul in here and there's literally nowhere to go. So I need to find parking for tonight. And that is my next mission. To be honest, I'm feeling very, very anxious. And a very big part of me wants to like cry right now because I hate not having a plan, and I think like this is just harder to get back into than I thought it would be. I'm also scared that I run out of battery. It's also supper time, and like I need to eat soon. I think I'm gonna have some cornbread before I start driving, but like I need to eat and like cook and stuff still. I'm just very stressed. There's so much to do in so little time. It's a lot. Before heading to the parking spot for the night, I decided to stop for some gas and to sit on the cold ground and watch a mediocre sunset over some random buildings as I charged my phone. And then I was back on the road towards the parking destination, I guess, for the night, and it ended up being way more beautiful than I thought it was going to be. Some nice warm ramen on a rainy, gloomy day. It's very nice. And I'm watching the sunset. Every single little part of me wants to be at home right now. There's this big light flashing towards me right now. I used to get so homesick when I was a kid, and now I get homesick for Jeremy. So when Jeremy is not with me, I just feel like homesick. Like I'm not sad, I'm not scared. It's none of those things. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, I don't know. I just feel really homesick. And I just would rather be, like, at home watching our TV show before bed and stuff. And, like, I always start to think about how, like, our time here is so limited. And when I'm old, I'm probably going to wish I had, like, I'm, like, crying. Oh, this is why I don't normally go on trips when I'm PMSing. I always think about, like, how when I'm old, I'm going to wish that I had one more night to spend with him, you know? Because, like, love is such a big value to me. It's such an important thing. When I'm, like, on these trips, it's really fun and everything, but I just get really homesick. I hate feeling like this. Like, I love these adventures, but as you saw, today was just, like, not the best day. Like, I just drove around all day long. I'm kind of, like, in a catch-22 right now where I'm like, do I stay here and feel homesick, or do I just go home? I feel like so much of my life is centered around growth, and there are some little comforts that I just, like, don't want to give up, like being with Jeremy at night. And I just feel like everyone is gonna judge that and be like, you need to learn how to be alone, and, like, this is good for you. But it's not about that. Like, I feel like I am good at being alone. I think that I, like, judge myself for putting so much importance on my relationship and the time that I spend with Jeremy, and all that to say that I might go home. I think I am going to go home. I spent the night journaling about my core values and then doing my 5-minute journal, and then I spent quite a while on the phone with both Jeremy and my mom, trying to decide whether I should stay or whether I should go home. In the end, I decided to let the emotions pass through me and fall asleep, since it was nearly 10 o'clock at night, and to just go through with it, which I'm very happy I did. I woke up the next morning to a little tiny sunset peeking through the clouds, between the clouds and the water, and the beautiful birds above me singing their little song. So the sun is already fully up. There wasn't really much of a sunrise this morning because it is quite cloudy outside and rainy. So I think I'm going to head off to a gas station because my phone is at about 15% right now. And I'm going to need my GPS to get home and also to finish filming all these videos. So I'm going to drink this up and head off to the gas station. If you're wondering about my night's sleep, I actually slept really well. I woke up twice, I think it was. Once at 1:15, and, well, I guess again when I woke up in the morning and I wanted to go back to sleep, but I didn't. I woke up around like 5:30, which is pretty typical for me during a road trip. And yeah, when I actually woke up at 1:45, I thought I had just fallen asleep, but it had been like 3 hours. Yeah, so first night in the Dodge, a success, although I think I'm going to avoid traveling while I'm PMSing because the anxiety is just way too much for me to handle. Onward. I'm still at the gas station. I only charged my phone to like 22% because it's actually pretty cold out there. But I'm thinking that I'm going to tidy up before I get home. That way it's just like easier to bring everything in after. Thank you guys so much for being here, for supporting me, even when times get rough. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for subscribing if you have, If you haven't, make sure that you hit that button because I have so many adventures coming up this summer, and it would be great if you were here to follow along for them. Mwah! Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye!
The light in your eyes comes over me just like a sunrise. You set a scene, turning my gray skies blue.